Well, we are now in the Mazda 3, and this is an incredible interior. But I will tell you right now, this is not a good car. This is a very good car. I'm Brian Grant with New Car Spin, and we are in the 2019 Mazda 3 Sedan. There are two types of Mazda 3s. There's the hatchback, which can come with all-wheel drive and a manual, and then there is this, the Sedan. Now this is the premium, and I'll show you right now some of the details here. It gets 36 on the highway, 27 city, 30 combined, and I've been experiencing just that, so that's right on the money. And it does have a 2.5 liter engine and 186 pound-feet of torque and 186 horsepower. We have some stuff, but the price, $27,595, and that includes this optional $200. Sorry about this. It's not the camera shaking, it's my hand, because I've been drinking some really good coffee this morning. Pretty much the best coffee in Texas, but don't tell anybody. They're right over there. You would never even know that's a coffee shop. But they roast their own coffee, and their cappuccinos are delicious, and they're $3 a piece. Anyway, this is not a plug for them. This is where I shoot. You know this space right here. You've seen this nice fence bush thing. Anyway, price, it's under 30 grand, way under 30 grand, and it has an optional snowflake white metallic paint. So let me tell you a few things here. We have a car that looks like an Audi A3 on the inside. I've owned a few A3s, so I know what I'm talking about here. I do love this steering wheel. All the controls are very easy to figure out. There's nothing really hidden. The chrome doesn't really reflect the Texas sun, which is good. I've had some vehicles reflect light off of chrome trim and you just can't see, but here it's pretty subdued. I like that. We have our HVAC controls. My only complaint here is this icon is very hard to see from far away, and there's no status light, so you really have to depend on your eyes. But when you're back here, can you see that? I can't see it, so it's always hard for me to figure out which mode I'm in. Auto AC, dual zone obviously works great. Heated seats. We don't have vented seats in here, but the seats are perforated, so you're not going to really sweat on them. In the Texas heat, you want ventilated seats, but even if they're just like perforated like this, that's much better than like my M Roadster, for instance, which is just solid leather. So by the time you get out of the vehicle, even after a 5-minute drive with this heat and humidity, it doesn't look good. I'm not sure about this fake air vent look here, but we do have a nice design on the passenger side, and this soft touch material, the stitched leather look. It's a fantastic interior. We have a new infotainment system. Obviously this car is all new, but this is Mazda's newest take on it. I like it. Let's see if my camera can pick up that. Well, there we go. We have different frequencies here. The screen refresh rate and my camera rate, I guess sometimes they conflict, so you see these banded lines. That's not the screen. That's the difference between the screen and the camera. Anyway, I like the fact that I have a home button, and then I can get around to the different modes, right? And information is okay. I sort of wish like this information was more available on just the home screen, because this is kind of well, it is, obviously. There's a lot of wasted space here. And if I hit it home the second time, I just see a big clock. It's a massive, where's the snooze button? It's a good design anyway. I have no complaints. This thing looks like it came out of a 1980s Mercedes. I like this cool airline style passenger seatbelt reminder. And it tells me which passengers don't have their seatbelts on. So it's a pretty safe car. We have sunroof, sunglasses department, and yeah, great car, great interior. It's a light color, and I like it. The seats, though, the seats are on the small side, so I feel like I sit on them rather than in them, but I'm not 18 years old anymore, so being 40 and 6 feet tall and 250 pounds, and I lost 30 pounds. So the seats are just a little weird. They're very supportive, but on the outer bolster sides, these sides here, they just feel like I'm on them. And you'll notice this weirdness too. The bolster on the inside is thicker than the bolster on the outside. The Honda Pilot had that, and I disliked it. I don't really feel it on the passenger seat though. I mean on the driver's seat. Let's get out and show you some stuff. It's kind of windy out there, so I apologize. I have a cell phone on a gimbal, and I really don't have a way to add a dead cat or a furry thing to block out this wind, but I'll make it quick. When you open the door, you obviously see the striking design. I love the integrated handle, although it's not like they added the handle to the trim. They just have a handle, and they added the trim to it. It's a good look. The Bose stereo, that's not metal, it's a metal look plastic. And I mean, just the touches in here, the look of everything is nice. It's hard to believe this is a $30,000, less than $30,000 car. And I would say the cup holders are in an interesting spot. They're like way up there. Here's the thing though, and I probably should have said this right away. There's the Toyota Corolla, and then there's the Volkswagen Jetta, and they're all about the same price as this car. Obviously they're a little bigger than this car, but I really don't care. If you want a bigger car, go all the way. Just get an Avalon. But you can't afford it, can you? So here's the thing about this Mazda 3. The reason why I say it's a great car is because it doesn't have a CVT like the Corolla. This thing doesn't have auto stop start at the lights, meaning when you get to a complete stop, the engine won't shut off and then turn back on when you take your foot off the brake. This doesn't have that. This doesn't have a turbo. This is just a naturally aspirated 2.5 liter 4-cylinder with a 6-speed automatic, and it is front-wheel drive, but you don't have like all these little things to try and gain an edge on fuel efficiency. A stupid CVT, not in the Mazda. Annoying start-stop tech, not in the Mazda. So if you're going to compare this to a Jetta or a Corolla, you have to remember, like, Mazda did something right here. Mazda said, we don't need any gimmicks. And so I'm able to get pretty good fuel efficiency, and of course you can always get better, but I'm getting good efficiency, and I'm in a well-handling, balanced car without gizmos and doodads and gimmicks and junk. I just have a car. So if you're looking for a car, and let's just say you're a new driver, you're 16, 18, 25, whatever, you graduated high school, college, I don't care. You're young, you want a car. This is a nice car. I wish we had cars like this when I was young, and let me show you why. First thing, obviously, the electronic parking brake, which I should probably just set. Okay, we're gonna park anyway. If you turn the vehicle off when it's in park, the parking brake automatically sets, and then you put it in drive, it'll automatically release. So you don't have to really use that anymore. It's sort of like automatic, which makes this car easier to drive. And we have this nice center display in the cluster, right? That looks really good. It's freaking tight. This is a good design, as opposed to the Volkswagen with the full digital cluster as an option. This thing just looks really good. I like this design. It's out of the CX-5. The CX-5 is the best SUV I've driven so far for the price. Yeah, you can see the bolster here. I don't really notice it though as much as I do in the Honda Pilot. Anyway, look at the shut line. This is some build quality right here. The line is consistent all the way down, all the way through the vehicle, and they don't do any gimmicks to this design. So it's a very smooth, very clean, very sharp, very laser focused design here, and the body panels go together very well. It's remarkable. Trunk is pretty big, although I guess when you're moving in and out of your dorm or you're locking your friends in the car, you'll want to do that. There's plenty of room for them. Spare tire. Over here we have a jack. Hey Jack. Bye Jack. Let's go. It's an electronic trunk release, but then we have our camera down here. It's a very high-res camera. I'll show you that in a second. Dual exhaust, polished tips. To me, this looks like an Alfa Romeo. I love the front end too. Sorry for the wind. Yeah, looks good. All right, let's drive it. You know what? Let me pop the hood real quick. Let's see what this thing looks like. I've never actually done it yet. All right, well, it requires the hood prop. Sky Active G. Yeah, pretty interesting. Not really. The key, though, let me show you the key. Okay, so I wish they had the old key. This is the new key, and it's pretty fat, takes up a lot of space, and I'm not a fan of it. I don't like the buttons on the side. It's hard to locate and just do things, but we do have the keyless option here, so we can just touch the door handle and it locks, and then pull on it and it unlocks. So we're going to do all that right now. Okay, put the key here. Okay, obviously push button start. Let me get my seatbelt on. Center armrest, very nice. Slides back for some reason. Place to put your pen. Maybe. I don't think a full Bic pen will fit in that. We have a little center divider thing, so stuff doesn't move around. There's no rear air vent back there, and there's no USB port back there. But we have a USB port here. Focus. There we go. And we have a USB port right there. Of course, another power outlet. And there is a cover here for the cup holder, so you don't have to see it. But obviously, I got a cup of coffee in there. So we got paddles, and we also have, let's see, focus. There we go. So downshift and then upshift. And that off there, you just hold it down. It cancels manual mode. You can go to manual mode by slapping that over. And you'll see there it says M1. And then if I pull the paddle, obviously it'll change. So we can start off in second gear, or we can start off in first gear. We can put it in drive. We can also shift manually while it's in drive, and it will basically revert to automatic after a few seconds. Let's see, we have auto, we have auto hold. That's for like red lights and stuff, so you can sit here with your foot off. And we're in drive right now, but we're on auto hold. So that's kind of cool. Let's see what else. Let me close the sunroof. It's auto open, auto close. And I tried it. You can't open the windows or close the windows by holding down buttons on the key. Some cars you can open the windows and ventilate the car before you get in, but which is important in a place like Texas. Also remote start. I didn't see that here either. All the windows though have auto up and down, so that's great. Just easily roll down those windows. Let's see, do they have auto down in the back? Let's see, touch that button. Yep, that's pretty cool. Look, mom, no hands. So you have auto up and down on all the windows and all the switches on all the doors. And close this shade. All right, let's drive it. We're in drive, and park and brake off. Now this is not a fast car in the sense of like, oh, it's like a Golf GTI because it says Mazda, it should be fast. It's not. But it's quiet and it's smooth. Let's go change my info here. I know I need to get fuel. We have radar cruise, and when you set the cruise, right, you also see in the heads up display, because this heads up, the speed and what you're set to. You'll also see warnings for your blind spot. You have blind spot monitoring on here as well. And we're coming up on a stop sign right there. You'll see in the display here, stop sign. It sees the stop sign. Now it won't automatically stop for me, but it will still tell me. I have sign recognition, so there's a 30-mile-an-hour speed limit sign right there. And let's see if it pulls up the speed limit. Yep, there it is, 30. Sorry about that. It's pretty bright out here today. I don't have my shades on, so kind of squinting at everything. Now, as far as acceleration, I just saw something really terrible. Let's turn around for a second. Let this guy go by. I'm gonna make a U-turn. We're gonna see how this can, how tight the turning circle is. Oh yeah, no problem. Of course. That building I'd love to take over and make that a coffee shop or a self-detail place. Look at this truck. He lost his load. Damn. Anyway, sucks. That sucks on a Friday. That's not good. I want to tell you about the acceleration here because the acceleration is weird. Off the line, it's not that fast. And then when you get up to about 40, it then takes off. It's kind of like a turbo in that effect. There's like a lag, but there's no turbo lag here. And I'd rather say it feels like from 0 to 40, it feels like there's like a rubber band tied to your bumper and the car behind you, and then all of a sudden the rubber band snaps, and then you go when you get to about 40. So let's keep this in standard mode for a second. Oh my God. It's Friday, it's Texas, anything happens. All right, we're gonna go for it. Floored. See now, oh, there's the punch. It's maybe it's the gear ratio, I don't know, but there's just something about the way it accelerates from 0 to 40 that I'm not too impressed with, and that's why some people say they wish it had like the 2.5 liter from the Mazda CX-5, and I would agree. Although the way it is now, it's pretty fuel efficient, and I don't even believe you need to use premium fuel. You could just throw in 87 octane and just get on with life. So it's efficient and effective in that way. And cornering is fun. Let's go this way. Although it sounds like it has a turbo. Maybe it does. It is Sky Active. I don't know. I should actually read that paperwork. You'll notice too, if I kind of like stray out of my lane, it will give me a correction and it'll actually steer in to the lane. Let's see if I can do it. There. See that? It did it. No hands. That's why I say this is a great car, because it has tech, but it doesn't have gimmicks. It doesn't have auto stop start or CVT, and it still delivers a very smooth, very compliant, very nice ride, and it looks great. Kind of looks like an Alfa Romeo. Inside, it's kind of like an Audi A3. It's kind of like everything in one for a great price. Let's make a U-turn thing here. It's Texas U-turn. These things are fun. And brake hard now. Turn in. Push it, push it, push it. Braking, push it. Oh, yeah. Little understeer there. Though that's okay. That's kind of expected. I was looking for it. Holding the gear in sport mode. You'll see a red line here too. That red line means you're going over the speed limit. So it knows the speed limit when it recognizes the sign. And then if you go breach it, you get that red line. And where we were before in our cruise control, you'll see we had the old setting. There's like a faint line there. That's where cruise was set at last time I used it. I can turn it off here, just pressing that. And what I want to show you is the last cool thing is the heads-up display, which is just like the Mazda CX-5. Let's take it out of sport mode. The Mazda CX-5 had like a blind spot, so on the left it would light up, or on the right it would light up. That's if someone was in your spot. So you actually don't have to focus on your mirrors all the time and look for the little spot. Ridgeline. Who buys a Ridgeline? That's what I want to know. Honda fanboys buy Ridgelines. Although I have to say the Acura RDX that I drove recently was awesome. Of course, it was twice as much as this car. But on to the Mazda 3. The 3 is decent handling. I'm trying to get someone to be in my blind spot. This may take some work. Let's get up there. It accelerates great at highway speed. Okay, so there's the car on the right, and you'll see in the little blind spot monitor, it'll turn on. There it is. You see the little icon right there? Someone's in my blind spot. So, great car for someone who's a young driver, and this is obviously the premium, so it's kind of loaded. And I would say loaded is always the way to go if you can afford it, and you know, always consider you know, financing is your best friend. It gives you that extra little cushion. Of course, you should be saving your money, and you don't need to lease either. Buy it. All right. Well, I'm gonna stop here and get some fuel because I obviously need fuel. And where's the fuel tank? It's on the left side. Take that one. How much is it here in Texas? $238 for cheap shit, and then $288 for 93. By the way, California, 93 octane is high octane, not 91. I don't know what you guys doing over there. Anyway, put it in park, right? It's not in parking brake's not set yet, but the car is unlocked, and as soon as I turn the power off, shuts down, parking brake is set. There you go, the Mazda 3. Not a good car. It's a great car. And no CVT, no auto stop start. Bose stereo is pretty good. I can't demo it because YouTube would flag the music on there. Please like, subscribe, share with your friends. I do unedited, real videos, uncut, no BS. This is the real deal. So I hope you appreciate that. Like the video if you like Mazda, or like the video if you like what I do. Like it if you like me. If you're a Mazda fanboy, like the video. Pretty much, this is a great car. I'm gonna miss it, but I got new stuff coming on the way too. So this has been probably as far as small sedans I've driven this year. I've driven 2 Jettas, the manual Jetta S in LA, and then I drove the fully loaded SCL Premium whatever here in Dallas. And those are bigger than this Mazda 3, and they're not really the same comparable car because this thing is small and very compact and fun and sporty. It's not fast. I wish this car was fast. That's the only thing. But if you're a young driver, this is fast enough. And trust me, it is. You can get into plenty of trouble in this anyway. Thanks for watching. See you later.